My many re-experiences with Mega Man 7 for the Super Nintendo slash Legacy Collection version. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some Mega Man 7, all over again. Because why not? I love Mega Man 7. Alright. Mega Man 7. Where do I begin on this game? So, my first time playing Mega Man 7, I'm going to go back to the first time I played it. Because I played this game my many re-experience with Mega Man 7. And why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I feel like it's important for me to just kind of get out there to the world how many times I've replayed this game. So, I remember the first time I played Mega Man 7 and made that my experience video about Mega Man 7 in my big fat Mega Man my experience collection video. And I remember I, talked about how all the stages were cool, all the robot masters were unique and have unique designs, unique everything to them and stuff. And yes, I will talk about their designs and everything, and their stage gimmicks and all that. But I wanted to just open this video and say, man, I remember when I first played Mega Man 7, I thought it was one of the coolest entries in the entire series. I still argue that Mega Man 7, to this day, is one of the coolest Mega Man games in the entire classic Mega Man lineup, bro. You want to know a fun fact, too? Mega Man 7 was made within 3 months. Mega Man 7 should not look nowhere near this good in only 3 months of development time, man. I still can't believe Mega Man 7 only had that small window of development before releasing it to the world. That is crazy, because Mega Man games need to be released every year at the time. But this is my re-experience with Mega Man 7, man. And all I gotta say, dude, is I can't stop thinking about it. But anyways, first time I beat it, it was on an emulator for the Super Nintendo, obviously. And I remember, taking so long to beat Wily, 12 o'clock in the morning. I always talk about it. 12 o'clock in the morning to beat Dr. Wily, man. Staying up all the way that late. Staying up, benching the entire game in, one little sitting because I was so addicted to the music Mega Man 7 had. Oh, God, the music in Mega Man 7. Anyways, my first time was crazy, bro. And, I don't know. I feel like Mega Man 7, out of all the Mega Man games, left some sort of impact on me. Because every single time I look back and want to play it again and again and again, I always think about all the good shit that comes from Mega Man 7. I don't think of all the... I mean, I do think of the bad stuff immediately, you know how everyone talks about the Wily castles and everything and how they're so bad, which I do want to talk about that and talk about why I feel like it's not that bad, to me, it's not that bad now, but, at least for the final Wily stage. But anyways, I digress. Let me share my stream. Shoot, I kind of forgot to do that. Hold on. Anyways, so let me get on to the game, right? So why did I replay it so many times? There are multiple reasons why I decided to experience Mega Man 7 multiple times. One, because when I first played Mega Man 7 and most of the Mega Man Classic series, I was mainly doing it for review purposes, aka, I was getting into the series because I had a genuine interest, but I was also playing a lot of the games, off-camera. Off-camera is review purposes, but, at the time, I played Mega Man 7 to kind of just review it and be done with it, and I remember when I first played it was through the emulator, and then when I played it a second time, and every single time I played Mega Man 7 after that point, I played it all on through the Legacy Collection 2 on my Nintendo Switch, because I got it for Nintendo Switch, and then way later on, Ronnie got it for the PS5/PlayStation side of things, but I got it mainly for my Switch at the time, and I couldn't be happier to have every classic Mega Man game on my Switch, which was so fucking cool. Also, but now Ronnie has every Mega Man game on his PlayStation, which is cool because, I mean, they really didn't use Mega Man. Anyways, I digress, right? So what kept me coming back over and over and over again? The reason I kept coming back to Mega Man 7 was, I mean, not only the beautiful way they introduced the game, like, for example, like Mega Man 7, Mega Man 7, why did I say it like that? Mega Man 7 having an intro stage with one of the best pieces of music in the entire game. The intro stage. I mean, dude, think about it like this. No Mega Man game. Yo, Ron, thank you for the $2, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, my guy. Holy shoot. Thank you. I appreciate that. But think about this, right? Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. But, think about this. No Mega Man game. Hi, I'm Eric. If you remember me. Oh, dude, yeah, I do. After you said your name. Because, like, you completely changed your name. So, like, I was sitting here thinking you were, like, completely brand new. But, Arekkusu, how you doing, man? It's been a fat minute. Let me know how you're doing down below in the comments, bro. Let me know. But, no Mega Man game, I don't think, has done, like, a proper intro like it's Mega Man X. And seeing classic Mega Man do the whole, like, kind of intro sequence similar to a Mega Man X game, the guy who keeps telling you to play No More Heroes. Oh, I remember. No, I'm telling you, I remember. It's just that the name change is what threw me off at first. But no, I remember after you said it. I'm like, oh, yeah. You know what? Because of that, I might ask Louis for No More Heroes. I might ask him for No More Heroes 1. I gotta see if it's cheap, though, because if it ain't cheap, Louis is gonna be like, hey, I'm not getting that. But, anyways. Like, no Mega Man game before Mega Man 7 has done the whole intro stage and intro cutscene and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, you see Mega Man 9 and stuff do the same thing, and 10 do, like, the intro stuff similar to 7. But I felt like 7 was one of the first classic Mega Man games to step up their presentation with them giving us an entire intro stage. No Mega Man game has given us an intro stage and then into the Robot Masters. You know what I mean? Like, other Mega Man games would jump, like, into the game, boom, shakalaka, you know what I'm saying? And then bounce back to, like, you know, or, like, they would show you what the hell's going on, Wily's causing all these problems and trouble, and basically dip, right? And you just play the game. That's basically it. This game takes a fat minute and shows us, even before this, like, if you watch the opening moment, like, when you boot up the game and you watch the opening moment, it'll show you, like, Wily actually had secret robots, like, roboxes? What the robots. He had 4 extra robot masters lying in their cocoons on some android shit from Dragon Ball, just in case Dr. Wily didn't return in a few months to cause havoc, which I thought was so cool and kind of genius of Wily to do. And I'm not sure why he didn't do this, like, earlier in the series. But not only the intro stage was so cool, but another really cool thing I would say about this game was the selection of robot masters, right? Mega Man 7 does another thing that I felt like that was really cool to me when I first played, or even when I didn't play, and I think all these years later when I'm still replaying it constantly. Another thing I thought that was really cool was not having all 8 robot masters for you to select right out the gate. And I know that might sound kind of weird to say, like, hey, why do you think not having all the robot masters is cool? I think it, like, having a more limited selection makes it kind of feel like it's, you know, it has more, it isn't, like, pretty intimidating to have all 8, like, motherfuckers to select from, you know what I mean? And I also like Mega Man 7 for doing this because once you figure out the right boss weakness order, like, for example, you do Cloudman first, then you do Junk. Or you can do this, right? Cloud to Junk, because Cloudman has the thunder shit, the Thunderbolt, to weaken Junkman, right? And if you do Ice, You can also weaken Burst Man. If you do Ice Man, you can go to Burst Man right after that. Or if you do Burst Man, you can go to Cloud Man after that, and then Cloud Man to Junk Man, then Junk Man to Freeze Man. Not Ice Man. I said Ice Man, but I meant Freeze Man, right? And I love that because it kind of gives us like an idea of, hey, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Like, since it's so limited, I don't have to think about 8 motherfuckers I have to do and figure out the weakness order with so many more Robot Masters right out the gate. Now, obviously, later on in Mega Man 7, they do change that a little bit, where basically they do throw the Robot Masters in there and stuff, and, you know, but more, like 4 more Robot Masters, but I like how they kind of slowly appear when you get to that point, like, like as extra Robot Masters. Another thing I really did like about Mega Man 7, at least I didn't like back then, right, before you're able to select a lot of things, was Mega Man 7 was the game that kind of wanted to be like a Mega Man X game, but not a Mega Man X game in some ways. And I say this because not only they have like the Robot Master stages, the music is some of the most goated shit in this game, but I'll leave that one part for a little bit later and stuff like that. But they started adding letters to this game. This is probably one, if not the only Mega Man game that adds stuff for you to backtrack to collect, right? Now, I know Mega Man 7 isn't the only Mega Man game that has letters, because if you guys remember, Mega Man, I think 5 had the beat letters, like 4 and 5 had the beat letters, where if you get all the beat letters, you unlock beat, which allows him to join you in the battle to do damage for you. That's what beat did in the earlier games of 4-7, but it's so much more than that, because in Mega Man 7, you go back you backtrack to the first main 4 stages, you know, Freeze Man, Junk Man, Cloud Man, Burst Man, to find rush letters. And if you collect all the rush letters in these secret locations, by the way, in my most recent playthrough of Mega Man 7, I actually did do all the rush letters, you know, and I think I went for a beat. I found beat as well. That's another thing I did. But I didn't do the Portal Man shield. That's the only thing I really didn't do. But in my playthrough. But anyways, right? So once you find all the rush letters, and I thought this was one of the more, like when I first played, right? I thought finding the rush letters was kind of annoying, because when I play Mega Man, classic Mega Man 90% of the time, I don't like going out of my way to finding extra shit. You know, that's what I would do when I feel like playing Mega Man X, because Mega Man X is the series that, you know, gets you to be like, okay, I'm at my weakest, I need to find my armor pieces to armor me up, to make myself, like, stronger so I can combat enemies easier and everything, and do the bosses a lot easier, etc., etc., etc. Right? But in the classic Mega Man, they usually would never do that. Basically, it's either you run and gun, or you run and gun and find their fucking weakness, and then that's how you make the game easier, is you find the weakness and you murk it a lot quicker. Anyways, so me going through the whole thing with the rush pieces this time, and I gotta be real, right? I didn't really find this all that fun in my first playthrough, which is why I never did it. And my many first playthroughs of Mega Man 7, I never did it, because I never liked finding the rush pieces so I can get the rush adapt armor, which the rush armor is fucking amazing in this game. You get to fly for a few seconds, you get a charge punch that allows you to like do okay damage to every single enemy, or sometimes if it's way weaker enemies, you one-shot them and stuff. Then if you can find the super arm too by using the rush search, which you can find in Freeze Man stage, you can have Rush dig around to find secret items like the super arm. The super arm, which makes things your punch way more OD in the Rush adapter armor mode and stuff. Which I know I'm mentioning that a little bit early, but I just want to mention it because I felt like it was kind of important to talk about the Rush armor a little bit. Because if you guys remember the Rush armor of Mega Man 6, the game right before this, it was really fun just switching to power and flight rush armors. It was so cool in that game. But in Mega Man 7, I would say it's kind of cool having a combination of that. And then also another thing that makes Mega Man 7 so cool is that the fact that it gives us cutscenes. Like, not only cutscenes for the intro stage and introducing to us, the players on the Super Nintendo, what is Wily doing, how much damage is he causing, all that other sort of stuff. I do and really do not like it when we get cutscenes, but most of the Mega Man 7 cutscenes, to be real with you guys, are just Mega Man always going back to Light Labs and explaining what weapon you just got. That is probably one of the most annoying things in Mega Man 7 to me currently right now. Like, that is not an issue that I would say, like, plagues, like, Mega Man, like, that is an issue that plagues Mega Man 7. Like, you can't skip cutscenes in this game. So, meaning every single time you get a weapon, like, for example, you go to Cloudman stage, you do Cloudman stage, right? DJ Eska 012, welcome to stream, bro. Welcome to stream. If you do Cloudman stage, after Cloudman stage, you'll get a whole message of Mega Man saying, hey, Dr. Wily, this is T-Bolt, Thunderbolt. You know, aka the weapon I just got from defeating him, right? And then they have a go back and forth talking about that, and I'm sitting there like, you know, on multiple replays, you know, playing this shit over and over again, it is really annoying sitting there watching the whole little cutscene mini shit after you beat the Robot Master. I kind of want to get a fucking move on. But anyways, I digress, right? So, after that, and I know, that's kind of another annoyance. The whole reason I decided to do so many replays was, as well, that's another reason why. I never was satisfied whenever I did Mega Man 7 full playthroughs. I was never satisfied with the playthrough I was doing, right? For many months of my YouTube channel, I had multiple Mega Man 7 full playthroughs that I would constantly keep coming back to this because I just kept feeling unsatisfied with my Mega Man playthrough, my Mega Man 7 playthrough. And I remember when Ronnie, aka Ren NYT, did his Mega Man 7 playthrough for the first time. We were laughing, we were talking. My boy, I need to put a shout outs to my mans over here, right? Ren NYT, because this is important, y'all. So listen up. Not the Ren NYT with 400,000 subscribers, so keep that one in mind. Come on, I don't know why I can't freaking find his channel. God, it's kind of annoying. Okay. So, but back to what I was saying. I remember, like, a few months ago. Like, I think it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago. Whenever Ronnie did it. He whipped up a Mega Man 7 full playthrough with your boy. Because if you remember, Ren NYT is playing the Mega Man series himself as well. He went through every Mega Man game up to 7 so far. I've already done all 11, but the point is, right, when he played 7 for 4 hours, 31 minutes, 51 seconds, like the entire game of Mega Man 7, you know, before I even thought about it, he actually went out of his way to grab everything to backtrack for, except for the Proto Man shield. I think he went for Beat, he went for the Rush Armor adapter pieces, he went for all that stuff, right? And I remember, and by the way, if you want to know where the stream's at, this is the stream I'm talking about right here. This man, Ren NYT, and by the way, I'm the one who, I think, gave him that thumbnail and said, put this one on. It'd be funny since, you know, he does a lot of meme thumbnails, so I was like, put this one on, it'd be peak. I loved this stream whenever he played Mega Man 7 because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that video has inspired me to get back on Mega Man 7 and redo a playthrough multiple times. Because if Ronnie was able to come back, deal with grabbing, you know, the stuff that I usually would never grab, aka, you know, the rush letters, the beat shit, and all the other stuff, and be able to beat Wily no problem. No problem, as in, like, there was a problem, but just finish the game for the second time on video, you know, with barely any Mega Man experience, you know. Not barely any Mega Man experience. He does have Mega Man experience, but you know what I mean. Like, basically, like, nowhere near as many replays as me, right? And I'm not trying to say, oh, that's a comparison, I'm immediately better. But the fact that he did something that I didn't in significantly less replays than I did, you know, not being afraid going after the rush letters, not being afraid to, you know, get the rush letters so we can get the armor legitimately instead of putting in a password on the password screen, or you know, just going through it. It inspired me to push forward and, you know, do my own playthrough without, you know, without all that stuff. And I don't know, just something I think just kind of clicked in me when that happened. When I you know, came back to that, when I fuck, it's kind of hard to speak. When he did that playthrough, because I think I did like 1 or 2 more playthroughs before Ronnie did that one with the password, and I just remember constantly feeling unsatisfied, and I needed to go back. I needed to go back and play Mega Man 7 at least a few more times. Not only for, you know, my sake, for my channel's sake, but for everyone watching me, you know, that I need to go back to Mega Man 7 and me going back to Mega Man 7 and playing it over and over again, I felt like it wasn't just for you guys. This one was emotional for me, because I felt like it was a me moment. I needed to redo Mega Man 7. I owe it to myself to redo Mega Man 7 until I get the playthrough I am satisfied with on YouTube.com. Right, and you know, me and Ronnie one day, we did the entire Mega Man 7 playthrough, swearing up a storm. YouTube wasn't happy about it. You know, completely demonetized my Mega Man 7 playthrough. So I said, you know what, that Mega Man 7 playthrough I'm just going to throw away, and I'm going to redo it the next day. And Lord and behold, I played Mega Man 7, and it only took me, I think, about an hour, or about barely over an hour 50. Or I think an hour 57 to beat all of Mega Man 7. And I won't lie to you guys, I struggled way more with Wily 1 than I think Final Wily in that playthrough. And after replaying Mega Man 7 so many times, sorry, but, you know, and hearing the music, you know, for Mega Man 7 to kind of keep me, oh, wait, okay, bring it down, okay, sorry, but, playing Mega Man 7, you know, for my playthrough that I finally posted, like, a few days ago, if not nearly a week ago now, when I'm making this re-experience of Mega Man 7, I finally found a playthrough that I was satisfied with. And with all these replays of Mega Man 7, I realized one thing. Not only the music is still really good to me, to this day, the music for the game is so good. Like, I love the OST of this game. It's still some of my favorite Mega Man I have ever seen. I know this my experience is wishy-washy and very all over the place, and I apologize, but because it's just emotional for me, so I'm all over the place. If I'm emotional about it, I'm all over the place. But, and, you know, Shade Man still gives me freaking problems, you know, what's it called, Wheelie Man, aka fucking bro over there, fucking Turbo Man still gives me problems. A lot of Robot Masters in this game still give me problems in some of the stages, but another thing I realized throughout playing all of these so many times is that Final Wily was something I was super afraid of back then. I remember Final Wily, like the Wily stages, like the one, Wily 1, you know, and by the way, most of the stages when you play them, even the Robot Museum, is not that bad. They're actually really fun stages to play through. Also, press minus if you're playing on the Super Controller to unlock Auto Shop. It makes the game a lot easier. Or if you're on PlayStation, press the pad on the side here. On the left side of the pad if you're on PS5/PS4 to kind of use the shop. If you're playing through the Legacy Collection versions. But anyways, I digress, right? I felt like out of everything, I felt like Wily 1 was the hardest for me because, you know, you're fucking with platforms that make the whole room dark, and I remember effing with that and just kept dying over and over and over again. Wily stages 2 and 3 were not that bad. The refights weren't that bad. They were extremely quick and easy. But I wanted to kind of talk about Final Wily because a lot of people, when they play Final Wily, here, let me show y'all. When people play Final Wily, a lot of people say this is the worst Dr. Wily in the entire series, mainly because of the final bit. Like, this bit right here is not bad, but it is this bit, right? With the whole fire, thunder, this phase, right? But after so many playthroughs of doing this over and over and over again, I don't think Final Wily is as bad as people make him out to be. And I know people are about to get on my ass for saying that, because I remember when Some Call Me Johnny made his Mega Man 7 review and said Final Wily in Mega Man 7 is not that bad. You guys are just overhyping it, or not overhyping it, but over exaggerating when you guys say, you know, the final part of Final Wily on Mega Man 7 is, you know, the hardest thing in the universe, the hardest boss fight in the series. And obviously a lot of people struggle on this Wily fight because I feel like the fireballs, obviously the fireballs burn and do the most damage. Ice freezes you in place, so the thunderballs can get you too. And ice does like on impact damage, and then the freezing or whatever like that. But I feel like it's mainly because the RNG on Wily's like whatever balls he's gonna dish out for a lot of people at first, when they first fought Final Wily, was really damn bad, and that kind of placed like a memory / an experience in their mind that like whenever they go up against this again, eventually or whenever, and this was me too, I was there with you guys too, whenever we deal with Final Wily, you know, it's stressful because it's like he can end the fight so quickly, you know, if you're not careful, if you hit the fire too many times before hitting up an E-tank and whatever, or if you make so many mistakes during the fight. I could see, it's still tense, trust me, it's still a stressful / tense fight, but I feel like it's not as tense for me anymore because I figured it out. I figured out strategies on how to fight Final Wily, you know, a lot better than previously, a lot better than before, you know. But anyways, so, and I'm going to teach you guys how to fight this Wily. So that way, whenever y'all play Mega Man 7, this part of Wily isn't going to be that bad. And plus, you guys can always just watch my playthrough I made 6 days ago and kind of see for yourself what strategies I was doing. So, when Wily first drops, right, like, you finally get past this transition, I'm like, come on, let's end this bitch, you know. You see Wily, like, start out, right? This is what Wily starts out with. Now, I have Freeze Cracker equipped, right? The Freeze Man's a weapon, right? Now, what this does is whenever Wily is too high in the air, like, for example, he's up here, or he's right there, or he's right there or something, you can aim Freeze Cracker. For example, when you shoot it, if you're on the PlayStation, you press square to shoot your stuff, right? You can aim it diagonally when you're pressing the, I think, either D-pad or a little bit D-pad up a little bit, or the up button on the D-pad to make Freeze Cracker diagonally shoot upward. So you can actually hit him, even though it doesn't do as much damage. As you guys can see, it only did like 1 to 2 bars of health. And I think Wild Coil from Springman does like 3 to 4, if not 5 little bars of health right here. That's one way you can shoot him. And I highly recommend people do this strat. Switch to Freeze Cracker if he's too high in the air, or use Freeze Cracker if you really are low on ammo in terms of Wild Coil and you only want to guarantee hits with Wild Coil if he's on the ground. Just use Freeze Cracker most of this fight to help you get rid of him in the air if he's in the air. Or you can Mega Bust if you want to, if he's in the like middle of the air and you want to save up on Freeze Cracker. or whatever, but I highly recommend you use Freeze Man's weapon in the air. And also, if you guys just watched what I just did, I highly recommend you do that too. Not just go to the corner and slide through the wall, but also time your jump and slides through the little ball things that he shoots down. Because he has multiple different combinations he can shoot from with that. He has ice balls, fireballs, thunderballs, and he can kind of mix all three of them around over and over again. Right? And if you get hit by fire, obviously you're going to get, do the most damage and all that other sort of stuff, right? But I just recommend try dodging all of Wily's balls to the best of your ability. Ball sack chin looking at. Okay, but anyways, we got to stop. Seriously, dodge those balls as best you can. And even if you can't, it's not going to be the end of the world, trust. Right? It's not the end. But also, if he's like low enough as well, switch to recoil. And honestly, if you're screwed by these fireballs, the best thing you can do, if you can't dodge all of them, get hit by the lightning one. Because the lightning thunderball does the least amount of damage. It just damages you a little bit. Like, it just stuns you for a little bit. Not like completely stun where you're frozen in place, but it just does impact damage. That's it. You get to move on. Fire is the worst one to get hit by, even though, shouldn't it be lightning you get hit by? It's whatever. Yeah, see, impact damage, and then you can jump, dodge, move after all of that, right? And then, again, if he gets low enough, switch to recoil. And it's because of this strat, in Mega Man 7, God, sorry, my eyes. It's because of that Wily strat in Mega Man 7 that I found out. Not only because of Some Call Me Johnny's video, but because I've done the final Wily fight so many times. So I know, like, the pressures, the pressures you go through doing this fight over and over and over again. I know it's still going to be a struggle, but it's significantly easier, when you know what you're doing. You don't freak out. You don't panic. You don't fucking, you know what I mean? You don't make things worse for yourself in terms of playing. You know what I mean? I don't know a way to describe it. I don't know the right way to describe it, to be honest with you. I really don't know the right way to describe it.
Way faster this time.
Yeah, see? An hour 56 when I finished it.
1 hour 56. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. And by the way, keep this in mind. Whenever Mega Man says this stuff at the end of the English dub, mainly because Mega Man never says any of this. This was an English dub translation. They decided just to completely go into the game, change what the dialogue says, and just have Mega Man wanting to kill Wily, even though Mega Man is not a killer. And if you watch the Japanese version, you'll see a difference. And, but anyways, outside of that, I couldn't even believe it. I beat an hour 56. But one of the coldest moments in all of Mega Man was this leaving screen, because I remember when I beat Wily for the first time, it took me all the way till 12 at night, seeing his castle burn and Mega Man just thinking about his...
I am not doing Mega Man 7 again if I swore in the first minute, and if I don't see those visible trapdoors.
Oh yeah, I did the replay as well as Mega Man 7 because of the trapdoors not showing up. But just look at Mega Man thinking to himself as he's walking back home from Wily's destroyed castle, just like, man, I'm more than just a robot, right? Like, I don't know, that's just kind of raw to me, but anyways, I know this is my experience, many re-experiences with this game, but all over the place, because that's how I kind of feel about this game. I used to be so all over the place. I mean, I still am all over the place with the game, but because I would be like, oh, I love most of the game, but then I hate the Wily shit. And now it's like, I don't hate the Wily shit as much, but I can still understand why people really hate the Dr. Wily fight in Mega Man 7, and, you know, and I used to really hate going for the rush parts and, you know, the Proto Man shield and all that other sort of stuff. I used to hate going for all that, but now it's like, I see that those things only enhance the Mega Man 7 experience. They don't dampen it, they only enhance it, and they make the Mega Man 7 experience feel more, not more of the same Mega Man slop that we've been getting over and over and over again. They tried their best with Mega Man 7 to change it up just enough, just like Mega Man 6 did, to not make it feel like I'm playing Mega Man 1 and 2 all over again. You know, they changed the graphics for the game completely. You know, they changed the OST to make it sound completely different from the rest of the games. All the robot masters have completely unique designs. They're easy to beat, but they have at least unique designs and unique stage gimmicks and all that other sort of stuff. And Mega Man 7 is, to me, it's again, I'm all over the place. But Mega Man 7, to me, after doing that playthrough and, you know, going after the rush adapter parts again, beat, all that stuff, dealing with Wily, it felt good to go back to one of my favorite Mega Man games, if not my absolute favorite Mega Man game. Because I remember I used to be very indecisive with what my favorite Mega Man game is, because, you know, I love every Mega Man game, including 11, but honestly, I think I should have said this earlier, but Mega Man 7 is my favorite Mega Man game of all time. I mean, until you get me a Mega Man game that has the same graphical style as 7, if not slightly better than that, and the music is on par with Mega Man 7, I don't think there's a Mega Man game that beats 7 out there. And I know that's a wild thing to say considering the Wily fight, but come on, y'all. It's been how many years since that game came out? Come on, y'all should know the Freeze Cracker Wild Coil strategy, where, you know, due to RNG or random likeness, if Wily, you know, goes up, use Freeze Cracker. If Wily's down, use Wild Coil to hit him and damage him, and also make sure you dodge the fireballs and the ice balls and stuff. You can get hit by the lightning balls and just continue, but, you know, just dodge the balls and whatever, and it shouldn't be, like, all that bad to deal with Wily. And, I just want to thank Capcom / the devs that made Mega Man 7 in just 3 months with a brand new OST that slaps more than the last game, with the design of every character that slaps more than any Mega Man game up to that point. It's like Mega Man 7 did so many things right, it's not even funny. And it took me as many playthroughs, like the emulated playthrough I did for my first one, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times when I tried replaying it for my, you know, just for random purposes, just to do it. Also, some other times for my YouTube playthroughs, you know. It took me this amount of times to realize that Mega Man 7, despite how little the time window of making the game was, how good it actually is. Like, regardless how I feel about getting the rush parts and all that other sort of shit, it is a phenomenal game. And I'm happy that this game and Rene YT, you know, helped me realize how good Mega Man 7's other parts of the game are, like going back and backtracking for the rush parts, you know, so I can get the rush adapter to make some later boss fights easier, like the base fight, and, or in base 1 and base 2 fights, or, you know, just, I don't know, it gave you a unique feeling that no other Mega Man game has been able to replicate. Not even Mega Man 8. The game after this tries to replicate Mega Man 7, because Mega Man 7 was just so good. I mean, I'm going to be real. I think I like Mega Man 7's design overall more than 8, but 8's for a different day if I ever choose to re-experience that. I'm never re-experiencing that. I mean, what? Hey. But anyways, I digress, right? Mega Man 7... you are the best Mega Man game in my heart, and if I ever, like, replay you again after this playthrough, I know I might not never need to, but if I ever replay you again, and we go through the whole journey together of finding, going through the 4 stages to find the rush adapter parts and everything all over again. I just wanna let you know, Mega Man 7, that I hope we have a great time, if I end up playing you again. And for anyone else watching out there that, doesn't want to give Mega Man 7 another shot or something, go give it another shot. Mega Man 7 deserves as many playthroughs as the first 6 Mega Men, up to this point. Well, at this point there's 11, but you get my point. Or there's actually way more than 11. There's like 14 if you want to include the Game Boy titles. But I digress. Mega Man 7 is a goated game, and people just need to stop bashing on Final Wily. He's not that bad, or he's not. I mean, he's really bad on your first playthrough, but if you get rid of that first playthrough itis and play through the Final Wily a few times and try to understand them and stuff and know what to do and figure them out, and, can't believe I'm saying this, but I mean, I'm not trying to say not give in to pressure or anything, because Final Wily is very pressuring. He's stressful as shit. But I feel like if you just lock in, hone in, don't let the stress overwhelm you too much or something, I feel like you can get through it lickety-split, no problem. I mean, look at me. I got through it, and I stress extremely easily, man. So it's like, if I can do it, I know any of you guys can do it. You guys are capable of doing it. Even if it is your first time, give Mega Man 7 a shot. I highly recommend it, even in 2025. And I played a lot of these Mega Man games like back in 2024 and stuff. Play Mega Man fucking 7. It is a goated game with a goated OS. It's a goated game with goated graphics, goated sound design / music, goated cutscenes. It's just a goated retro Super Nintendo video game if I've ever seen one, man. Shit, I think Mega Man 7 does a lot more with the Super Nintendo graphics than a lot of other Super Nintendo games on there. But anyways, I need to stop glazing Mega Man 7. I've been talking about it for 41 minutes straight, being all over the place. And that's kind of me re-explaining my many times, replaying this freaking game. And Mega Man 7 is just so good. Just go fucking play it, man. Actually, it's kind of weird. I need to end it on something better than that. Hold on. Let me find a better way to end the video. Dr. Wily, Mega Man 7. Hold on, let me find a better shot of him. Hold on, let me find some. Cause I don't feel like ending this video without some form of Dr. Wily, okay? I really don't. Gotta wait for this ad since YouTube, this is why YouTubers stockpile footage. So they have their own footage. And they don't do it as a live stream, they do it as a recording. Fucking awkward, alright? Huh? I don't fucking know. Just, oh.
Alright, fellas. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. And Wily's out this bit. Oh, wait, shit. Mega Man, chill.
Nah, Wily, I'm gonna kill your bitch ass like I should have done years ago.
Whoa, when the fuck did you start swearing, my boy?